when asked about America's core interests, you were saying we decide these on a case-to-case basis, case-by-case?
I think he was asking about specific, no, he was asking about specific humanitarian situations, and that we evaluate on a case-by-case basis what implications those humanitarian situations have on core American national security interests.
All right, welcome to Give Me Five. This is a very interesting exchange between Ed Henry and Josh Earnest, the president's spokesperson, because it took place yesterday prior to the president's announcing that we were, proceeding with the two forms of military action in Iraq. So the question was from Ed Henry, is preventing genocide in Iraq, is it in America's core interest? And Josh Earnest will not answer the question, as you'll see as we go along. But keep in mind, this was not today. This was yesterday before the announcement by Barack Obama. So here's more.
To put a finer point on it, perhaps, is preventing a genocide in America's core interest?
Well, the reason that is an important question is that we have seen a couple of different situations where there have been urgent, conditions where innocent civilians were under extreme duress and at a heightened risk of slaughter.
We know why it's an important question, Josh. We know why. Ed Henry knows why it's an important question. That's why he asked it. But Josh will not answer this important question. He is the tap dancer extraordinaire, and he's showing it with his evasiveness when it comes to trying to, or not trying, to answer Ed Henry's question. Here's more.
The answer is preventing genocide in America's core interest. I mean, that's a pretty basic question. It's preventing genocide in America's core interest.
And what I'm trying to say is that each of these instances is evaluated on a case-by-case basis in terms of what the United States of America can do to influence those situations. Of course, the United States has been and will continue to be a beacon of freedom and respect for basic human rights around the globe. And that is a core founding principle of this country, and it is one that American men and women have fought and died to protect.
Really? I didn't know that. Thank you for the history lesson, teacher. But that's not what the question was. We know we're a beacon of freedom around the world. We understand that. But Ed Henry's trying to ascertain to what extent are we a beacon of freedom? Is it in America's core interest to prevent genocide, stop genocide in Iraq? Now, of course, at this point, the administration was talking about possibly humanitarian airlifts and possible military strikes, but nothing was definite yet. So that's why Ed Henry asked the question he asked, but he doesn't get an answer. More.
I remember the president putting out a very emotional statement, I believe it was April, a big statement about how we can't let this happen again. And here we're confronting the possibility of 40,000 people facing genocide. And I'm still not hearing, is preventing genocide in America's core interest?
Come on, Ed, stop badgering the poor guy. You know you're not going to get an answer. You're not getting an answer. It really is mind-boggling, though, why you can't get an answer for a basic question. Of course it's in America's core interest. Now, he didn't say national security interest. He said core interest. Difference. Watch.
What I am saying is that each of these situations is evaluated on a case-by-case basis. The principle of basic respect for human rights and the protection of communities that are threatened only because of their religious or ethnic identity is something that the United States cannot abide. The question is what and how the United States can intervene to mitigate that situation. And those kinds of decisions are the kinds of decisions that are made on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, all right. Well, I guess that's the closest you were going to come to getting an answer from Ed Henry on whether or not, again, if stopping genocide in Iraq is in America's core interest. But you got to give Ed Henry credit for trying, right? He tried. He just couldn't crack the tough nut, as they say. All right, folks, so we're coming back, but first stay tuned for your Newsmax Now update right here on Newsmax Television.